So this is another writer program in Python. So we've got a haulage company that wants to estimate the cost to haul a load. We've got some inputs that we've been told to do. So the user inputs the distance, inputs the weight, and then they charge £50 a ton and £5 a mile. So it's fairly straightforward, this. So we're going to have an input. The first thing we have an input. So let's get distance equals integer input. We'll say enter distance. We don't really need in the exam to write anything inside that box here, but it just helps us to think about what we would do if we're writing a real program. And then let's have weight, because we need to get weight as well. Again, integer input. Enter weight. So then we get charged £50 per ton, so we can do that one first. So let's call this weight charge. So weight charge equals weight times 50. And then let's call this one dist charge equals distance. And this is times 5. So now we've got those two, we can output that. So we'll use total cost equals weight charge plus dist charge. And then we just need to output that. So we can use a print statement for that. Print total charge equals, remember, forget to total cost. Switch colors. So therefore, we've outputted that, and we've done the first bit, and that's all of our 7 marks on that first bit. So all we've done is get inputs and used the correct data type. So integer, it does say use whole numbers. We've worked out the weight and the distance charge. We've used a variable to add up those two and output it. So you could get away with not using the individuals, but it makes it look tidier. So then part 2, we want to write a validation routine. So if you're thinking about doing that, you can pause now and then write yourself this validation routine. So they want to validate the weight. So we're going to have to put something in here where we're inputting the weight to do that. So let's just get rid of the weight a minute so that we can write something in there. So if we make weight equals 0 for a start, we can then use a while loop. So we can say while weight is less than 1, or weight is 35, 1 to 35, so when it's greater than 35, then we're going to ask for the user to input the weight. So we'll just get them to do that input. Weight equals int input, enter weight. And so we've made the weight 0 up here. So that means this loop will happen at least once because it's 0. So it's going to be less than 1. So then we get the chance to put this in. If we don't put it in correctly, it will loop back to here. So that's our validation. That was another 3 marks. And we'd probably get the 3 marks there for using a while loop, for having the right numbers in here, so the correct range, and for having the chance to put weight in again inside the while loop so that it doesn't just run forever. So that's probably the 3 marks for that. So then part 3, they've decided to make a minimum charge of £200. So if the total is less than that, it's going to output the minimum charge. And this should say 200, not 100. So to do that, we can just do that just before our print statement. So if we just get rid of the print statement for a minute, we'll write it in here. So we're going to need an if statement. So we can say something like if total cost is so not equal to but less than, total cost is less than 200, then we just make total cost equal to 200. So this is just having a minimum amount. So if the total cost is less than that, we're going to make it to be 200, which is our minimum amount. And then we'll just print out again, as we did before. Total cost. And if we want to be fancy and put pound signs in, we can do. And total cost there. So that will output correctly part 3, which is the minimum charge. So hopefully you did okay with that one.